For too long, Washington has tried to put us in boxes. They separate us by race, by age, by income, by geography, by place of birth. We spend too much time focusing on what divides us. Now is the time to embrace the one thing that truly unites us. You know what that is? America, America. It's America.
What we do here is we cover the news. We also analyze how government, corporations, and mainstream media respond to it, and how different cultures and nations and individuals respond. We really study what's really happening in the world. So much of this broadcast isn't just looking at mainstream news or looking at a piece of legislation or interviewing an eyewitness. It's also looking at it in historical context and seeing how the media responds. Here's an example. And I've gone and actually looked at the agreement. Trump got 1,800 and something jobs certified to stay in Indiana via a carrier deal, just because they got some locals to give them some tax incentives, not even as good as what Mexico had offered. That's just part of trade. That's part of making deals. That's not crony capitalism. The Heritage Foundation just says, let any other country do whatever they want. We'll have giant taxes and regulations here, and we'll just shut down. That's free trade. No. Having an NFL game where one team's got 2 players and the other has 11 players on the field is not fair. And then you have the Heritage Foundation going, yeah, we field 2 players and they field 11, and that's fair. No, it's not free trade. And so what's happening is you're seeing true populism come back, and it's got a lot of people upset, including the unions, the stinking Democratic-run union run by a man named Jones. I'm ashamed of my name for a few seconds when I read it. Attacking Trump, saying, you lied. He went on Fox News and CNN yesterday. You lied. You said all 1,400. Now, under Obama, there was not even lifting a finger to stop Carrier. Then he went on and bitched about another company that's leaving and said, why don't you do something about this? You broke your promise as president to not let any company leave. Trump has been admittedly in negotiations with the other company in Indianapolis to stop them from leaving. And by the way, he said, by the time I become president, we're going to punish people with tariffs coming back in if they're American companies and they screw us and leave. What he says is, once I'm president, you're not going to leave. Just like Obama said, once I'm president, we're going to bankrupt coal power plants. They didn't say he broke his promise as president-elect when he said that. He was president-elect when he said that in 2008. A couple weeks out, just like Trump from being inaugurated. He said, you can build a coal power plant, but we will bankrupt you. Same thing. And you know what? He did basically bankrupt half of in the country and massively increase our prices. The point is, Trump comes out and says, when I get in, we're going to punish you and they're not going to leave. Plus, we're going to cut taxes so they make more money here anyway, so it's going to be great. We've already had 80+% leave. They promised that wouldn't happen. It's been a one-sided deal. Now it's going to be a two-way street. That's pure, clean, economic language that's true and based in free market reality. But I read this New York Times article this morning and watched the video, and I was wondering what planet I was on. Then I went and worked out and flipped over to Fox, and they were kind of showing both sides. There isn't both sides to a lie. Did he break his promise or didn't he? He's not even in yet, and not one but 2 Ford plants are now staying. The head of Ford says, if you really cut corporate taxes to make it fair, we'll bring it all back. Not just he'll keep stuff from leaving, they're going to come back. You're going to get so tired of winning, you're going to say, please, stop winning. No, I'm sorry, you're going to win, to quote Trump, because they've had their foot on our neck on purpose. That's globalism, to deindustrialize the Western world. Look at what's been done. Do you understand that? And then you read this article that I could spend all day on, but I have hundreds of important articles. Trump unleashes tweet. Oh, he unleashes. After they're talking about banning him. Why? And the unleashed tweet on Carrier union boss who blasted him. And all he said was, no wonder companies leave with unions like this. This union did nothing to stop it leaving. Obama did nothing. The unions have presided for 40 years on selling out their members. He goes, I get 1,800 of the jobs to stay. They keep saying 1,000 or 1,100. It's 1,800 and change. He gets them to stay. And this Jones character doesn't look like any Jones I ever saw. The point is, he gets up there and he shoots his mouth off like Trump did something wrong and is a promise breaker. What type of ingrateful, weird, twisted, freakazoid crap is this? But it's the inverse reality world. President-elect Trump lashed out. He lashed out Wednesday at a union leader. No, he defended himself. Trump's carrier job deal as a promise halfway delivered. No, it was 80% delivered. Chuck Jones, what's he do, Looney Tunes cartoon voices? President of United Steelworkers, Local 1999, has been critical of Trump's claim to have saved 1,100 jobs at the Indianapolis plant since Tuesday. But shortly after Jones appeared on CNN's Eric Burnett Out Front program Wednesday night, the president-elect appeared to blame union leaders like him for companies leaving the U.S. Oh, they had the head of SoftBank, tens of trillions, the biggest Japanese conglomerate, announce at least $50 billion to be invested next year in the most advanced high-tech jobs that are the creme de la creme you want. And to bring the most high-tech Japanese secret technology here and give it to the United States. This is a deal with Japan. That's why Gingrich sent out that thing on the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, saying the Japanese showed incredible precision and launching their attack from the Philippines, which was the most long-distance attack up to that date. We're not saying that the people that died at Pearl Harbor were garbage. We dropped A-bombs on Japan. We killed millions of them. They paid. It's now part of a secret alliance forming with Japan to kick China's ass, people. Now, I know you haven't been let in on that yet, but you've just been let in on it, okay? The deal's being made right now to win. You ready to win? With Russia and Japan and South Korea. You ready to win? We were being purposely sold out to lose all of our power worldwide. We were supposed to retain the military power. China was supposed to get the economic power under the 1970s deal the Rockefellers did. The double cross happened with the globalists and the communist Chinese, and suddenly the Philippine president said we were a joke. Go to hell, I'm with China. As the day Trump was elected, he went, I love Trump, he's my boss, I'll do whatever you say, sir. Yeah, and a bunch of his security detail got killed, you notice. He got his head turned around real quick as soon as Trump got elected. And, I mean, look, the games are over. America's back. You want to be great? Get ready. We've always been great, and we're really going to be great now. If we can brush aside all these enemies who are hopping foam at the mouth angry right now. And it just goes on. Chuck Jones, who is president of the United Steelworkers, 1999, has done a terrible job representing workers. No wonder companies flee the country. Yeah, Jones, you're losing all over Indiana for who you represent. Trump is actively fighting for the other companies he represents, by the way. He followed up with another attack just over an hour later after Jones called him a liar. No, it's not an attack. It's called a defense. See how they invert reality? If United Steelworkers 99 was any good, they would have kept those jobs in Indiana. You ever heard something that true from a president? Vice President-elect Mike Pence, who is also governor of Indiana, gave a very different description of the union back in March. To make Trump sound like he's a liar. No, they were trying to be nice to the union. But, oh, I'm sorry, you don't want your jobs back. I'm sorry, we apologize. He tweeted a photo at a meeting he had at Carrier with Jones and 199 members, calling them hardworking. Oh, so see, Trump's attacking, but Pence says they're nice. That's when they brought them their jobs back and were being nice. Now they've been stabbed in the back. Trump stands up to it. And I'm showing you how every line is written to put Trump in a bad light. This is pure psychological warfare. And I've got examples against us that are unprecedented. National Public Radio that's run by the government is on every hour. Local shows national line. Yesterday, I got a call. They said, I just heard it at 11:15 on a thing called Texas Standard with their tech guy saying, quote, you said Hillary chops up the children personally and murders them. And I said, I never said that. And I went and found his tweet where he said it. And then I was even able to find, he had a YouTube link, but no, he wouldn't let you go to it. I went and actually found it, and it was me saying, we don't know if she's really killing kids in these rituals that WikiLeaks is releasing. But I said, we know she funded ISIS and Al-Qaeda that's killed hundreds of thousands of people, put little girls into sex slave trade, and literally chopped them up. And I talked about how they were chopping up people on the videos that were released and making the prisoners eat it before they killed them, because under Islamic law, they believe it sends them to hell. That's news we broke. That's video given to us by people that care inside the government. And their response is that I say she's chopping little kids up. This is the level of twisting and disinfo. He's been president-elect now for about a month, and he is delivering with more hard economic reality that helps this nation than Obama did in 8 years. But that's not hard. I'm not stealing thunder from Trump. It's just not hard because Obama and the globalists admit their plan is to deindustrialize us in a, quote, post-industrial world where only they are allowed to operate, quote, economic zones of development. It's a monopoly. It's a club, and we ain't in it. And Trump says, you know what? We're going back to the American system where everybody's in the club. And they tell us all the inequities of America and all the problems. I know. We were the club that tried to open up the club. We were the reform club. Didn't mean we were perfect, but it's admitted fact that England and France and Germany and the Netherlands and countries like that became the reform club. Everybody else followed us. And it was basically the Christian ethic. Oh, wait till you hear what the Pope said. But continuing here, I am remodeling my garage. I mean, all I'm doing is putting in a steel-doored containment area to put ammunition, firearms, so it can be more safely stored in just one little corner of the garage. And I don't know why I always tell stories in such detail. It doesn't matter. I'm remodeling my garage. So I warmed up on the elliptical in there, but there's all this equipment and stuff in there. So I left and went to the local gym that I have membership at but never use. And Pat Riley was there with me. He works out with me in the morning a lot. And I'm telling you, folks, I'm getting 50 times the hate I ever got before. I usually just get nothing but love. There were all these men in there. Hey, Alex. Hey, great. You know, you're awesome. All the guys were giving me high fives, shaking my hand. I mean, basically all of them were listeners. It was incredible. Could hardly work out. But there were women in there. And they were, I mean, basically all of them. There were probably only 10 women I saw. And I'd be walking 15 feet from a woman. And I would see them like, look at me, look scared, and then start backing away like a demon had entered the building. Because it's women that listen to NPR and watch MSNBC, and they are whacked out of their brains. They are so scared of me, and I saw them pointing at me and stuff like I was Satan. And I was wearing a gray shirt and black pants, normal shoes, normal-looking guy. I mean, I wasn't imagining this. They were flipping out. It's crazy. I'll never forget one time I agreed to be interviewed by a Clinton operative who was writing for Psychology Today. And he said, do you ever feel like people are looking at you or talking about you? And this was like 8 years ago, and I was pretty big then. Now, yeah, sometimes people are fans, and they're talking about me, or they want photos. He goes, oh, you're big, you're famous, you're a narcissist. And I said, no, I just said they want photos and stuff, but sometimes people don't like me, and I see them talking about me and stuff. And one time, I was at a restaurant, and they caught somebody putting a booger in my food, and the manager came over and apologized. They caught him. He's like, oh, really? Oh, you're really important. And he wrote in the article that I imagine people are talking about me. And I see, this is how crazy they are. The New York Times, again, as I said that 8 years ago, in 2008, that I was insane and Bilderberg Group did not exist, and that I was in Chantilly, Virginia, having full hallucinations. Well, guess what they said 3 days ago on Tuesday morning on The Morning Joe? They said, I and my listeners are having full-born, I played this, hallucinations about child sex rings. No, Penn State's not a hallucination. The Catholic Church's not a hallucination. All the Hollywood stuff's not a hallucination. All the big police crackdowns in Europe and Australia and all over, and catching judges and lawyers and major leaders involved, and Jimmy Savile and the royal family, that's not a hallucination. And I have right here the WikiLeaks tweet. You can put it up, where John Podesta caught in a hot tub party with kids. That's their tweet. And you read it, and it's, we're supplying kids at the farmhouse that behave very well for your entertainment in the hot tub. That ain't code. Clinton campaign chair John Podesta caught throwing hot tub parties with kids as young as 7 years old. That's WikiLeaks. That ain't me. But they get Colbert and the National Public Radio and all this crap up there saying, I'm saying this. I did not say it. And look, just get this fact straight. They ignore WikiLeaks now. They ignore it all. They just say, I made all. I mean, there's thousands of pages of this about, oh my gosh, 65,000 of the best, juiciest, most succulent hot dogs. Obama loves his succulent hot dogs. He loves them. I can't wait to get to Hawaii and have those hot dogs. More than 20 years ago, when I started InfoWars, I was a fitness addict. As time went on, my metabolism slowed down. I quit working out. I was working 18 hours a day, and I gained right at 100 pounds. I started to exercise really hard again, and I started to try to eat healthy. Started taking third-party supplements. Started seeing some more gains. But when I started working with Dr. Group and some of the other top formulators in the country, they said, Alex, it's all about trace elements and things that the population is absolutely deficient in. Boom, weight started pouring off. Toxins started coming out of my body. Then, by early 2016, I was in the best shape of my life since I'd been in really good shape in my 20s. But the election heated up. I started working 14, 15, 16 hours a day. But more importantly, I stopped taking the supplements because we rearranged the kitchen and somebody took the Lazy Susan off the kitchen table where I took some every morning, and I just kind of forgot about it. It was out of sight, out of mind. And so then I realized this morning, I said, we're going to put the Lazy Susan back on the table, and I'm going to start taking it religiously again. And I'm going to work out like I've been the last few weeks at the same level. It's a holiday, so I'll probably eat more. And whatever the results are, I'm going to publish the findings. It's December 5th, 2016. We're only like 25 days from 2017. And I want to invite all of the info warriors of every race, color, and creed that bleed red blood and love liberty, justice, and truth to make our bodies great again.
For too long, Washington has tried to put us in boxes. They separate us by race, by age, by income, by geography, by place of birth. We spend too much time focusing on what divides us. Now is the time to embrace the one thing that truly unites us. You know what that is? America, America. It's America.
What we do here is we cover the news. We also analyze how government, corporations, and mainstream media respond to it, and how different cultures and nations and individuals respond. We really study what's really happening in the world. So much of this broadcast isn't just looking at mainstream news or looking at a piece of legislation or interviewing an eyewitness. It's also looking at it in historical context and seeing how the media responds. Here's an example. And I've gone and actually looked at the agreement. Trump got 1,800 and something jobs certified to stay in Indiana via a carrier deal, just because they got some locals to give them some tax incentives, not even as good as what Mexico offered. That's just part of trade. That's part of making deals. That's not crony capitalism. The Heritage Foundation just says, let any other country do whatever they want. We'll have giant taxes and regulations here, and we'll just shut down. That's free trade. No. Having an NFL game where one team's got 2 players and the other has 11 players on the field is not fair. And then you have the Heritage Foundation going, yeah, we field 2 players and they field 11, and that's fair. No, it's not free trade. And so what's happening is you're seeing true populism come back, and it's got a lot of people upset, including the unions, the stinking Democratic-run union run by a man named Jones. I'm ashamed of my name for a few seconds when I read it. Attacking Trump, saying, you lied. He went on Fox News and CNN yesterday. You lied. You said all 1,400. Now, under Obama, there was not even lifting a finger